Hello, and welcome back to another video from Natural State Bonsai. Today we're going to be working on some Portulacarias. These are most of them are Portulacaria afra liliputs, which is a small leafed Portulacaria. And we're going to take some of these and we're going to put them in some small Mame pots. We'll get right to it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and trim all these up and get them. They are so raggedy right now. They've been growing all summer long, and they grow very fast. Actually, this one right here has been trimmed twice this year already. So they grow very fast. Let's get these trimmed up, and then we'll start to get them in some pots. So first, let's take a look at this one right here. I really like the Portulacaria afra liliput variety. The reason I like them is because the trunks tend to get very woody and gnarly very early on in the process of growing them. And so I really enjoy them a lot. And so we're going to go ahead and take some of these lower branches off. And sucker growing down here. And we're just going to trim this back to where I see some sort of shape coming out of it. Right now, I know everything is too long, so I'm going ahead and clipping everything. All right, so let's find our front here. I think that right there is my front. I like that right there pretty well. So we're going to go ahead and clip this one out. Clip that out. The other thing about ports, the liliputs, is you can actually rub some of the branches off, especially the newer ones. And so I like to be able to do that sometimes. Right there. Let's see, we got a large branch coming out there. Let's get that gone. I don't want this one coming down. Actually, I'm going to take that one off completely. And then what happens a lot of times is you get a lot of congestion in the crotches here. And so we're going to get rid of a lot of that. Also, I have to take these gloves off, I'm pretty sure. And any down-facing branches, we want to get rid of those. And I think we've got this one cleaned up quite a bit. Okay. All right. So another down-facing branch here. Down-facing leaf. And I believe that's all we're going to do to this one here. Most of the time on these right here, I go ahead and do clip and grow. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take this piece off right here too. And so clip and grow, you can pretty much control the way the branches are going to go. All right. And in case you didn't know, these things grow very, very fast. Even this time of year, I'm going to keep them in a warm environment, 55 degrees maybe, and between 50 55 degrees. And so this thing here will continue to grow, and you'll be surprised at how much growth it puts on in the next couple of months. This next port is in a concrete pot made by one of the members of our Bonsai Society Club here in Arkansas. the Central Arkansas Bonsai Society, made by a young lady named Janice, and she did an excellent job on just a concrete pot. And I've had this port in here probably since about March or so. And again, I had clipped it way back, and now it's grown out a whole bunch because I haven't pruned this one any more during the summer. So let's get started on it. Let's find our front first. I think that's going to be my front right here, right here. So I think I'm going to take this bigger branch off here. And these facing downward we'll take off. You can keep ports in a lot of different environments. A lot of people think because they're succulents that they're not as hardy as they really are. As long as you're above like 40 degrees, these ports will do fine. Now, I've actually had them go under 40 degrees and they start dropping leaves, is what I've seen. So try to keep them above 40 degrees and you should be fine. And I'll just continue cutting it back until I get it to the place where I want it. You can see I've got a lot of these things bud back and bud all over the place. So let's see, down facing one there. Come around here. I think we're going to cut this back a little bit more. We'll cut this back here. Branch here. Let's see where my front is at right there. I'm going to take this one off. Okay, another one facing down here. And I'm looking for down facing leaves also. Let's see here. I don't like that one there. Okay, I think this one is about done, and so we'll start on the unintentional forest that I made with my other Portulacarias. We're ready to take all of the ports out of the pots. I thought I would go ahead and show what the root balls look like on these ports after being in this soil for most of the summer, if not all the summer. I can't remember if it was the spring or the late winter that I planted these up, but I'll loosen this up a little bit. They don't tend to have huge root balls, and so I'd be very surprised if we see large root balls on this right here. And you can almost cut these back to nothing and they will still grow. Okay, so let's see if we can pull this out. Put my pot up to use later, some other time. And we'll start combing this out a little bit. See if we can get some of these separated. I would say that the roots work pretty well on this one here. That's quite a few roots. And we got the first one out. We'll put that to the side there for now. And about to get the second one here. And then finally, I got those two undone. and that's the normal size Portulacaria. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I may throw that away. So there we go. We got that one done. Let's get the next ones, and we'll get those cleaned up. This one here has got a nice trunk on it. I thought I put a loose enough soil in here to be able to get this out pretty easily. But you can see I actually got that at a ceramic shop and just spray painted it. But I do not like the pots that have the lip on them that are face inward, because they're so hard to get anything out of. Even Portulacarias are hard to get out. And I say that, and that one come out very easily. Let's comb it out a little bit, like so. And I'll clean that up again before I put that in the pot. So we've got that one out now, and we've got our last one to do. Okay, here's our last one. I have decided to keep this one in its concrete pot. I like the way it looks in there, and it's a special pot that was made just for me. And I think I'm just going to leave it in there. So I'm going to leave this one in there in the pot. However, I did find a Chinese elm that I think I want to put in one of the Mame Pots. So this one, pretty much, I think I'm going to leave it like it is, and we'll take it out of get rid of the moss here, and take it out of its pot, and we'll put this in a Mame Pot. Some good moss for this time of year. Move that over there. Let's comb this out a little bit. There we go. Got a little nodule coming up on the top there. A little root nodule. Nodule, not Nigel. A little humor there. So, okay, we got this combed out a little bit. Let me get my pots ready, and we'll start putting these in the pots. And all right, we've got our 6 cleaned up Portulacarias so that they'll fit in these pots. Some of these look like they may be a little bit too big. I don't care. I'll fix them next year if they are. And then I've got the one Chinese elm that we're going to put in the pot. I think it'll look pretty good. A couple of these do look like they're too big to go in there, but I'm talking about height, and I can always trim them down and do some different growth patterns on them. I'll do that off camera, of course. So let me get these into a pot. Okay, so here we have the final display. Some of these may be too big, and I may cut them back a little bit more, but right now this is what we have. So we have 5 Portulacaria afras that are of the liliput variety, and I've got 1 Chinese elm here. And I put rocks in there to stabilize them, because I don't like tying my Portulacarias down. These will go in my greenhouse, so that the wind can't knock them over or anything like that. And it only takes a couple of weeks for the roots to take effect, and they won't move around much anymore. So well, I think that we're pretty much done here. I do have one more thing to show you, and it's a preview of a video that I have coming up probably next week, early next week. And so let's take a look at what I'm going to be showing you next week. So getting ready for winter, I'm going to be keeping these Portulacarias in my greenhouse. And you can see the one to the left there. That's the one I decided not to work on today, or to put in another pot. I'm going to leave it in the concrete pot. But just to give you an idea, all of these Portulacarias here have to be pruned way back, and I'll be doing that over the next week when I put out my next video. And you can see I have several Portulacarias here, and even more, and even more, and even more, and even more. I got to step back because these are so tall, and even more. And this is not all of them, actually. I have even more. Here's the other side of my deck that I've got more Portulacarias on. And you can see there's a display with some other succulents in it. And then this tray right here, this complete tray, all of that's going to be cut way back. I mean hugely back. And so um, the one thing about this tray is that almost every, well, not almost, every single one of these in this tray is a Frank Yee cork bark Portulacaria. And so I've got my work cut out for me. I will not, obviously, I won't show all of the pruning on these, but I will show um, the before and after of these prunings, and maybe a few of them as I'm pruning the bigger ones. And so that's all I have for today. Like and subscribe to this video. And I heard a saying from a friend of mine the other day at our bonsai meeting. He says, use what the tree gives you. And so, and I believe that's a great tagline at the end of this. So use what the tree gives you, and I'll see you on the next video.